Ms. Richardson, you have summoned the defendant, Ms. Russell, to court to prove that her 3-year-old daughter, Alasia, was not fathered by your husband, Mr. Richardson, who recently passed away.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're joined today by his mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Ms. Russell, you say you can't change the fact that you slept with a married man. You claim Mr. Richardson is your daughter's father, and you're entitled to the Social Security benefits for her.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Richardson and Ms. Hill, explain your doubt. Why do you feel Mr. Richardson is not Alasia's biological father?
Your Honor, at my husband's deathbed, I had asked him, did he want to see his child? He said, that's not my child. So he kept telling me all the way until he took his last breath that she was not his child.
And you feel like at that point, if he did feel it was a possibility it was his child, he would have told you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Russell, they say there's no way Mr. Richardson is the father of your child, but you disagree. Explain why.
Your Honor, first of all, I know who I was sleeping with. I'm not that type of person, never have been. My kids are 15 years apart. Prior to me being with Bert, I wasn't with nobody for at least 2 months.
You contend that you were sleeping with no one else.
Correct, Your Honor.
Besides him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even though you were aware he was a married man.
I wasn't aware of that, Your Honor. I wasn't told about a wife until I was with the mom one day, and I told her that he had asked me to marry him in a text. She said, I don't know how he gonna ask you to marry him when he already married. When I asked Bert about
Got that right, you knew.
When I asked Bert about it, he told me that they were separated and that he was waiting on her to pay for a divorce because he couldn't do it.
He wasn't gonna get no divorce. He wasn't gonna get no divorce.
That might be
He
true.
always loved at Lisa.
But that's not what he told me.
And
I
my
sent
daughter-in-law,
papers to
and that's
him
that. That's all it's gonna
And the
be.
fact that he lied about everything but his
He
name.
went to sign, he said he was not going to sign no papers. He was not
No.
getting a divorce.
She told my son it was not his child. Okay,
I
then
said I
you
wish
turned
it was.
around.
I wish it was
Then you
another
turned
person
around
to blame.
and said it was his child. Now what am I supposed to believe?
Ms. Richardson, when did you find out?
I found out from my mother-in-law. She wrote me a letter and we talked over the phone, and she told me that he had a girlfriend, and she also told me that he had a baby. She sent me a picture of the child. I don't even know what to say really about this because I'm very devastated, I'm upset, I'm angry.
We haven't
I
really
haven't
mourned.
time to grieve over my loss of my husband. I was there when he took his last breath.
She was there the whole time.
The whole thing.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Ms. Russell, take me back. Tell me a little bit about this relationship.
When I met Bert, it was in December. I was living with my aunt. February, he called me and said, I'm about to go put this money down on this apartment for us. But he called me and said that he was meeting with the landlord. He was $100 short. I was just getting off the highway with my mom. I went to the ATM, got the $100 and met him at the apartment behind his mama's house with the landlord and gave him the $100. Before he went to work that same day, he came over to my aunt's house and gave me a key. The whole time I was living with my aunt, I had been sick off and on, but I had thyroid problems, so me not having my menstrual regularly, I didn't pay it no attention. The end of March, I got up to go to the bathroom one day and I could barely move. I called my mom and asked her to take me to the hospital. My aunt ended up taking me. I get to the hospital, they're like, just so we suspect that you're pregnant. I start laughing. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, this is the day before April Fool's Day, why are you playing? I was 4 months and 3 days. And that was the middle of April I found out. I started messing with Bert the second week of December. I hadn't been with nobody since October.
And then after that time, you ended the relationship.
I left him June 28th. He went to work. I
And
moved all my stuff out and went to a shelter.
Was he accepting the child? Was he saying?
No, he told me he didn't want the baby. He tried to pay the neighbor to get me to take some type of pill to get me to have an abortion. So I just decided I wasn't gonna do it, and when I had the money, I was gonna leave.
The man she's telling me about, I'm thinking, was my husband a monster? He didn't act like this with me. We was married 10 years.
Well, you have to understand, Ms. Russell did not know it, but now may have not known it, but it has been revealed that she was...
I'm 39 years old. I was 35. I ain't never in my life been with no married man.
Your Honor, what I
you
told
found
with
her,
him out of all
you
people.
should have stopped there. Why sit up there and keep messing around with him? And then
I left
turn
him
around
when I
and
was
burn
5
up
months
his clothes.
pregnant. After I
His
found
clothes
out,
that his wife
4
bought
months, I
him.
left at 5.
She didn't buy
tell me
him
what I
nothing.
did.
You were about to say, Ms. Richardson.
I had a child that died 2 years prior. And this child was throwed up on Facebook, just totally disrespected me as a wife. And I feel like, you know, I was still grieving of the loss of my child. Then you posting your child, even if you found out that he was married or you didn't know at that time, it's like you should have shown respect to me. And then when all of it came up, you're acting like you're the victim. No, you're the volunteer. Because when you take on a relationship with a married man...
I volunteered to have my whole life messed up by your husband?
When you date a
volunteered
married
for that?
man, you're volunteering for trouble. That's what I'm talking about.
I met Bert at the store. He was with a dude that I grew up with. Probably about a week later, me and him ended up talking on the phone. From that point on, we was together almost every day. He told me he was staying with his brother. About a month after I met him, I found out he was living with another female, a 21-year-old girl that was his girlfriend.
And so the bottom line is you met.
I met
and you
Bert
started
at the store and started
started
talking
a
to him.
sexual relationship.
Yes.
After you started talking.
Correct.
And did you ever have a suspicion that he could be married?
Not at all.
I
Not at all.
told
We
her.
was together every day. Yes, Miss Pam, Miss Hill, you did after we found out I was pregnant.
All right. You've brought another witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ms. Barr, please stand up and join me.
Let him live in peace.
Here on the witness stand. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Your
The
Honor.
late Mr. Richardson is your...
He's my uncle.
He's your uncle.
My best friend, actually.
And so did he speak to you about this situation?
He did.
What did he tell you?
Before I even knew anything of Miss Russell, Your Honor, he was down south while his wife was away. And the first thing he said was, niece, I don't think that this baby is mine. I even have somebody else who's coming to visit me while I'm here. So she was never in the picture until the fact that she had the child. So after she
So you're saying Ms. Russell was not in the picture when he was speaking about his relationships. He never spoke about Ms. Russell.
He never spoke about her until the fact that he said that there was a possible chance that her daughter, Alasia, was his.
And when he told you that, what did he say related
He said,
to?
I don't think that I could possibly have a child by her within this time when it took me so long to have kids by my wife, let alone that
Her
my
body
two
ain't
kids
got nothing
passed
to do
away.
with mine.
Okay, it doesn't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that your body has anything to do with it. But both women that he has been with, it took them over 3 years to get
still
pregnant
ain't got
by
nothing to do
him.
with me.
Okay,
Same
it
thing.
might
I
not
wasn't
have
celibate
nothing
for
to do with
15
you, but at
years.
the
How my
same
kids
time,
so
though,
far
even for
apart?
you to sit here and tell him that you wish that
It
he
happened
wasn't
for a
her
reason.
daddy, that's very disrespectful for you to slander his name on Facebook. Every time my uncle mess with somebody, I know everything he do. Like you said, he was staying with somebody.
Obviously you don't.
Obviously I do.
So
for
you know
him
about
to
the
say
other
here,
8.
okay.
You know about all of them then.
I know about every last one of them. Yes, I do. Every time my uncle mess with somebody, I know everything he do.
You know about all of them then.
I know about every last one of them.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
I
probably
do.
do now because of his wife.
No, it ain't had nothing to do with his wife, because before his wife, I knew about who he was talking to then, while he was married to his first wife.
So Ms. Barr, so you do know that your uncle was sleeping with women other than his wife?
I do know that.
You just did not know particularly about Ms. Russell.
Yeah, because not even, this is no disrespect to her. I'm not saying that she wasn't irrelevant to him because I don't know their relationship personally. But he did bring another lady down to see him. When he brought her to South Carolina, he never even mentioned her name until he was like, oh, I got to deal with some stuff when I go back. But when he came back, my grandmama had the baby on the couch at like 6 months maybe. We came up to visit. My baby was 3. Okay, I was like, who baby? Oh, that's your uncle's baby. I said, oh, well, okay.
So
And
wait, when you saw, when you saw Miss Russell's baby for the first time, she was on your grandmother's couch, Miss Hill, and you said whose baby is it? And she said that's your uncle's baby?
Yes.
So there was an acknowledgement.
Miss Pam was acknowledging my baby until Miss Richardson came back.
No.
No.
That's not true.
She announced
I
my baby.
lying about everything.
I kept saying to myself, is this my son's child or is it not? I told him to go get a DNA.
So you've taken a DNA test prior. You did.
Yes.
After
What
that,
happened exactly?
And conclusive. After my son had passed away, there was a letter came through the mail. It said for child support. I opened it up because my son is dead. So I opened it up and seen for child support. I called the people, let them know my son is dead. So what is this all about? They said, well, ma'am, since he dead, we need a DNA test did on you. When the paperwork came back, it was inconclusive. That means the child does not have my DNA and she is not related to me. Hello.
So when you had the prior test done, who was tested?
I was tested.
Just you?
Yes.
All right. And the child, of course?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Russell, when you got the results and they said they were inconclusive, what did you think?
I didn't know what the problem could have been because, again, I know who I was with.
But I'm the one pushing this. I want closure. I got doubt because someone on their deathbed saying no.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what to believe. I'm here today to
That
find
man
out.
went all the way,
I want Dana
all the way
to
6
tell
feet
me.
under with all his lies.
Well, you know
You know what?
His
Don't
spirit
talk about
right
him
here.
because he
I'm
just
not
said
talking
he's
about
not
him.
ready to
I'm
defend
the one
himself. Yeah,
being
he
respected
did
for the last
lie,
3.5
but
years.
he's not the
I've
only
been the
person
one being
who
lied
has
to the
lied.
most
So don't just
about everything.
say-
Hold on. One person at a time. I see you're feeling emotional, Ms. Russell, upset. You're saying you've been lied to the most. Explain to me these.
It's 5 things he told me that was the truth. His name, where he worked at, who his mama was, and his age. Well, 4. Everything else he told me was a lie. The relationship from the beginning was garbage.
My mother-in-law, Pamela, Miss Hill, she cries a lot. She want closure. She don't want to walk away from the child and me neither. I would probably be just really devastated if I found out today it wasn't my husband's baby because I done set my head in my mind frame that it is his child because of what she's telling me. She's saying that it could be no other father. I'm on her side on that part, but I'm on her side as a woman. I'm putting myself in her shoes. I'm trying to be a peacemaker in this whole situation. And I feel like as a victim in the situation, I shouldn't care at all. But I do.
You're not the only victim.
I even had
I've been
a
dealing with this
necklace
for
made
years.
for her child a year ago. When my husband died, I had this necklace made last July. I haven't given it to her because I don't know whether my husband is the father or not. I got it engraved, and it says, always in my heart. And it has his remains in it. And if he come back today that my husband is that child's father, I want to give her this necklace. If not, it's going back home with me.
Thank you.
I also want to bond with this child if it's my husband's child.
Did you and your husband ever have children together besides the one you lost?
We had that one child and she passed away.
So in some ways, this really would be a piece of your husband, a piece of your son.
Yes, if it's true.
If it is in fact his biological child.
And if it come back today that he's not the father, are you willing to go on Facebook and apologize
sure
to me
will.
as a wife,
Please.
for
Not-
her
not
as a
a
mother,
Please.
to
I
the
sure
family?
will.
I should have been the one beating you up, but I didn't. I stayed humble. I'm his wife.
One
He
that
could
needed
have
to
called
play
you
her
on his
today.
deathbed, but he called me. He come and got me.
Well,
It don't even
Ms.
matter to me, though.
Richardson, you said the reason you're here today is for closure.
Yes, and so
I
I can
have
grieve.
the closure for you. I
Please,
have the
Please,
results.
that's why I'm here.
Jerome,
Please.
the envelope, please.
Make it quick.
Please.
In order to determine if Alasia Richardson is the child of Bert Richardson, we tested both the paternal grandparent, Mr. Richardson Sr., and the maternal grandparent, Ms. Hill. The results determine if there's a viable relationship between the child, Alasia, Ms. Hill, and Mr. Richardson Sr. The results read as follows. In the case of Richardson, Hill versus Russell, pertaining to 3-year-old Alasia Richardson. It has been determined by this court, Ms. Hill and Mr. Richardson Sr. are related to Alasia Richardson.
Thank you, Your
Thank you.
Honor.
That's all we want.
That's all we wanted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't lie about nothing. I'm too grown for that.
Well, we going by what my husband said, and as a
Yeah.
wife, that was my duty.
I
And
understand
you have
that.
to respect that also.
I
And I'm
understand
still
that.
grieving.
But can I
No
get
one
her
was
some
there.
time?
When he took his last breath, I was there. When he told me she wasn't his, I had to have faith in that. And I'm still
I
hurt.
understand that.
I held his hand.
But I
in
told
his
you from
arm
day
till he
one.
took his last breath.
She look, act like, eat like him, built like him, everything. I'm nowhere in there.
You would like to give the gift, Ms. Richardson,
I would
to
like to.
your husband's daughter?
Yes.
She's a real good woman.
That's
Even
wonderful.
through everything, she said even if she wasn't, she'd have still been there for my baby.
That's wonderful. Ms. Percival, you say for the past 31 years your father has never been willing to accept you as his biological daughter.
Correct, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Hansen, you claim you did not sleep with Ms. Percival's mother at the time she was conceived, and there is no way she is your daughter.
That's right, Your Honor. She's not my daughter.
Additionally, there is yet another young woman waiting outside of the courtroom claiming Mr. Hansen is her father. She will be joining us shortly, accompanied by her mother. So, Ms. Percival,
Yes,
please share with the court why you feel Mr. Hansen has rejected you.
I feel that he's rejected me since, well, my whole life I've grown up not knowing who my father was, knowing that my sister, who was also through my mother, who is Michael's daughter, he accepted her when she was a baby, but denied me the whole entire time. So I grew up my whole entire life not knowing who my father was because he refused to take a DNA test.
Mr. Hansen, what I'm trying to understand is you have one child
Yes.
with her mother. Why is it you deny her?
I was married with another woman at the time. There's no way. Me and the other woman that I was in a relationship with was having a baby. And I don't cheat. When I'm with somebody, I stay with somebody. I just got out of a 20-year marriage. I was with the woman 20 years, never cheated on her.
You're in a marriage,
Yes,
and you say you never cheated on your wife.
that's right.
And your wife gave birth within a month of the time that Miss Percival was born.
I was with the other woman at the time she was conceived. So there's no way she could be my daughter. I am not her father, Your Honor.
And you seem pretty confident about that.
I guarantee it.
So, Miss Percival,
Yes, Your Honor.
when were you told that he was your father?
When I was 6 years old.
At 6 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And from that point on, you had in your mind, this is your father. But he's never established a real relationship with you.
No, I barely met him personally 2 months ago at Teresa's house.
My other daughter, which that's a 50-50 chance too. That's a different story.
So, we're gonna get to that story in a moment.
That's
Right.
proven right there that you were a cheater.
I don't have a baby. She's the one that had the baby. She's the
But
one that
you were
cheated
still
on
a
me.
cheater because you were with both women at the same time.
No, I wasn't.
All right. Ma'am, please step up to the podium. I'd like to hear from you. State your name for the court.
Charlene Viapondo.
Okay, Ms. Viapondo, why is it that Mr. Hansen doubts so strongly that he's the father?
I'm not sure why he doubts it because of the simple fact I was with him and I told her, we kept going back and forth. We were seeing each other back and forth. And then I had met somebody too and I was sleeping with him. And then he was going back and forth to Tracy
And then, Your
and
Honor,
me.
the day that I met him, what he told me was, there is no way I can be your father. When I asked him for the DNA test, he said, because your mother was a whore and sleeping with somebody else in the backseat of a car in Chesterfield.
No, this is
That
how
is what you said.
This is how it is.
That is
After-
what you said.
Let me ask you, were you intimate with Mr. Hansen while he was with his wife?
Yes, if they were married at that time, yes, because we were seeing each other off and on and then he
No.
went back to Tracy.
No.
His contention
That's wrong.
is that he was married and he never cheated.
I'll take a lie detector test. I would never cheat on Tracy, ever.
And
I was
given the
never with
fact
her
that
after
your
we split up.
daughters are 1 month apart, it's your contention that he in fact was going
Yes.
back and forth.
Correct,
Yes,
Your Honor.
and he
No.
is the father.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I was never with her after we split up, after our first daughter was born.
Miss Percival, let me ask you, did you know Mr. Hansen growing up?
No, ma'am. He wasn't even in my sister Jessica's life. He took off.
No, I didn't take off.
Oh,
I
yes,
was
you did.
refused to see my daughter.
No, you refused
But I
yourself.
never got to, I didn't even know she was even around until she was like 12 or 13 years old. I didn't even know she existed.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
liar.
that was
Okay,
through my other
No,
brother that I
no,
even knew
no,
that she was
no.
around. Yeah, I don't want to hear
No.
that.
Hold on. You're saying, Mr. Hansen, that you never even knew Miss Percival was born until she was 13 or 14 years old?
Exactly.
And were you clear with him when you were pregnant, this is your child?
Yes, I did tell him, and he told me no, I wasn't. That
She
wasn't.
don't even look like me. Come on, look.
I look like Jessica and I look like Teresa. And Jessica for sure is your kid?
Yeah, Jessica's
Okay,
mine,
and
yeah. I know
we
she's
look
mine.
identical.
No, you guys don't.
Oh, yes,
No,
we
you
do.
don't.
Did you ever ask him for a DNA test?
No, because I never seen him around.
I asked him the first
He was
day that I
gone.
saw him.
Oh, come on. Charlene, quit lying.
I'm
Damn
lying.
drama queen. We were separated. That was the end of it. That was the
So you're
end
saying
of it.
after she gave birth to Jessica, the daughter you say is yours?
Correct.
You never slept together
I
again?
wasn't even around her. I don't even know where she's getting this.
When you first met Miss Percival and you were told this was your daughter, you first laid eyes on her. What did you think? Did you think she looked like you?
Nope. I know she wasn't mine. I know. She looks more like a guy that she took a ride in a van with.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Hansen, I think I need to meet your ex-wife
Yes,
and the
indeed.
daughter she had,
Okay.
who's within 1 month of Miss Percival.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, Mr. Hansen, come sit up here next to me. And Jerome, could you please escort Miss Hansen and Ms. Merchant into the courtroom?
Hello, ladies. Come on.
Really? Are you serious?
Hold on 1 second. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
Hello, ladies. Come on. We're gonna have you go to the podium on the left here.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm
I
serious.
can't wait for the child support.
Huh?
Hold on 1 second before you say what you have to say. State your name for the court.
Tracy Merchant.
You're Ms. Merchant, and your name?
I'm Teresa Hansen.
All right. So, Ms. Merchant, you were married to Mr. Hansen.
Yes.
At the time that Miss Percival was conceived.
Yes, I knew that she was born. I knew she was his when she was born.
You did?
Yes, I
No,
did.
that's a
Yes,
lie.
I did.
I was with you. How could I be with you?
And
too?
her.
No, I was not.
Yeah, you
No,
were.
I wasn't.
So,
No way.
Ms. Villalpando just stated that she knew you existed
Yes.
and knew he was running back and forth to you, and now you're stating to this court that you knew she existed and
Yes.
that he was running back and forth.
Yeah, that's how these girls are 28 days apart.
No, that's a lie.
So you
That's a
knew he
lie.
was cheating on you.
I never
yeah.
once cheated on her. Never.
Oh,
No, you cheated
gonna
on
throw
me.
So, Mr. Hansen,
Yes, Your Honor.
you're also denying that Miss Hansen is your daughter.
50-50 chance.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
no.
My wife
He-
cheated on me while we were married with
Your
my
Honor.
older brother.
Hold on, let's get some order. Let's get some order.
And I didn't even find this out until 5 years after we were divorced, that rumors were going around that she'd slept with my brother. I confronted my brother and he told me yes, he did.
your brother's a liar just like you are.
Your Honor, growing up with him, well, he was in and out of my life, but the times that I was around him, it was your mom's a whore, you're a whore, and
I didn't call you a
Yes,
whore.
you did, numerous times.
No, I didn't.
You're gonna be like your mom.
What kind of man does that? to
I
their own
didn't do
child?
that. No, I didn't call her no whore.
Yeah.
Her mother's one thing. No,
I lived
she's
with
not.
him for
Call her
3.
mother a whore.
He's never denied any of my brothers. Ever. He's always taken care of them. And I just always felt like I was never worth having a father. And I should have never felt like that.
No, you should never have felt like that.
I've treated her so good.
Why is this young
I
woman
am
standing in
close
this
to
courtroom
her.
so upset then?
I'm close to her right now. I go over there all the time to her house. I'm
past year
close
and
to
a
my
half,
grandkids.
he
31.
Yeah, I know.
31.
How long did it take to find
Not
you?
3
You were
months.
married 5 times.
So?
Where were you moving? All over the state.
No.
Everywhere else. I didn't know where you were.
Miss Hansen, when you grew up, you knew this was your father, and he never said he denied you were his child. You just felt like he didn't treat you.
No, he did tell me that he thought that my uncle or somebody in the family was my biological father.
When
Could
did
be.
he tell you this?
Could be, I said.
Probably around 11.
When
10
you
or
were
11.
11? So you grew up not knowing if your father, the person you thought was your father, or your uncle,
Yeah,
was your biological father.
yeah.
So you grew up not knowing if your father, the person you thought was your father, or your uncle,
Yeah.
was your biological father.
I was brought up with him telling me bad stuff about my mom, and I never thought that was fair. But my mom would never say anything bad about my dad. She just never really said anything except for that he was my father.
And I apologize for saying the bad things about you. That was wrong of me. I never should have done it around the children.
You still do it.
No, I
You
don't.
still tell her I'm a
I
whore.
don't.
You
The only
still
thing we're
talk
dealing
about
with
her.
is what we're dealing with now.
That's not fair for me.
Because as you stand here today, right in this moment, you truly don't know who your father is.
No matter
I hear
what, Your
one thing
Honor.
and I hear another. So, I mean, they're both, as far as I'm concerned, he's my father, so it's both of my parents. I just feel stuck right now because I don't know.
But no matter what.
I need answers.
No matter what, she's gonna be
I
my
need
daughter, no
answers.
matter the outcome. No matter the outcome. If she's my daughter, I'll take full responsibility. But I have a real big doubt. And I don't mean to make you feel bad in anything, in any way. I'm not that kind of person. I would put you in my life. We'll
If you're
have.
not that kind of person and didn't want to make me feel bad, why would you say what you did?
I told you,
when I
because there's
first
no
asked
way.
you?
I know for a fact you're not
But why
mine.
would you say that to somebody?
Because I know for a fact you're not my daughter.
Your Honor,
Your Honor.
I have evidence of our birth.
Oh, hold on. I'd like to see that.
Yes,
Jerome,
ma'am.
please hand me that evidence, please.
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I know for a fact you're not my daughter.
You submitted a calendar. In this calendar, you've outlined the dates that Mr. Hansen and your mom were together, were intimate,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were born on May 14th. So outlined in pink are the dates he would have been with your mom.
Correct.
And you were born May 14th. 1 month later, in June, Teresa Hansen was born.
Correct.
Therefore, 1 month later, Mr. Hansen was still with his wife at the time, Ms. Merchant.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And so, Mr. Hansen, as you look at this calendar,
I'm looking, but that's incorrect. I was with Tracy at the time. I was never with Miss Percival at that time. I was with Tracy.
but you do admit that you had a sexual relationship with Ms. Villapando.
Yeah, a couple years before that, because there's no way I was with Tracy at the time.
Your Honor, I'm 31 years old. I have 7 kids. I've been having kids half my life. My oldest is 15. My youngest is 7 months. I went to older guys looking for the void
Your Honor, I
that my
also did the
mother
same.
never gave me.
So not having a father in your life, it affected you tremendously.
Tremendous.
It affected the choices you made in relationships.
Yeah.
But it
I
wasn't
did
truly all my
drugs to cover up
fault.
the pain, to fill the holes that I had in my life.
It wasn't all my fault.
No, it's not. But these are the way that I've had to deal with the things in my life.
I know
And to
that.
cover up the pain and hurt and that you not being there has affected me more than you know.
I know that.
I covered
understand
up,
that.
but
Your Honor, I resent him the same way because I went through the same thing and I tried to fill the voids in my life the same way, going to older men because I did not have a father in my life also. I also have a 16-year-old. I had my son when I was 16 years old. He's almost 16 now. And I have a 4-year-old daughter. So I went through the same resentment. I have resentment so much towards him for not having a father figure in my life and him denying me for 31 years.
It was the worst growing up like that.
See,
It was
they're
the
saying
worst.
I'm denying him.
You are denying them.
I'm
You
not
are.
denying him if I can't find him.
No.
That's
Mr.
wrong.
Hansen, don't sit up here on this witness stand and start backtracking, because when you stood over there, you said, I do not believe Miss Percival is my daughter, and I know it for sure. And then you looked at Miss Hansen and said, there's a 50-50 chance that she's my daughter, and I have doubts. It could be my brother. That's what you told this court.
Correct.
You've got to own this moment.
I am. I'm owning it with Teresa. I feel she's more mine. I got more of a connection with her than I do with her. Let's just get the test out and we'll prove it.
Well, I think it is time.
Yeah, I do
hear the
too.
That's going to show it.
Jerome?
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. As it relates to Ms. Hansen, and whether you, Mr. Hansen, or your brother is her father,
This is the one I'm worried about.
when it comes to the paternity of Ms. Hansen, Mr. Hansen, you are her father.
Yeah.
I love you too. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're most certainly welcome. You seem relieved, Mr. Hansen.
Yes. That's the only one I was worried about. I apologize. I don't mean to be inconsiderate or ruthless, but I know the other one's not my daughter. I'm sorry.
Let's go to the final result. Mr. Hansen.
Yes.
When it comes to the paternity of Ms. Percival, Mr. Hansen,
Yes.
you are her father.
There's no way. Hey, baby.
Now you
I'm
know.
sorry.
Yeah, you know.
I'm sorry. It didn't seem like it added up. It's just like it just didn't add up, Your Honor.
You know what's going to
And
add up?
I'm sorry.
Back to court.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
I wasn't wrong.
I love you both. I'm sorry. I really am.
Mr. Hansen,
Yes, Your
is there
Honor.
anything you
I
want to say to your
apologize.
beautiful
I'm
little
sorry.
girls?
Really,
Grown
I'm
girls.
sorry. I'll be in your life from here to the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I'm sorry. I'll be in her life.
With that said, court is adjourned. Take care, everyone.
Sorry.